Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, however and wherever you may be receiving this broadcast. I don't give a damn. I'm just glad that you tuned in. This is Voice One on One Voice Radio exclusively. I am here with the legendary Black Lion, Damian Smith. I am also here with Lady Jane. I am also here with our guest, Hill Panda God, aka Spike.
And when do you catch him?
Oh, Saturdays. It's saying Saturdays.
All right.
Every Saturday. At what time, sir?
4 p.m. to 4:45, bringing you that hot fire on the nerd world itself.
You wasn't ready for that, was you?
And
Hot like fire.
That hot fire.
And people, man, tune in Saturday. This is a show that you do not want to miss. It's pretty dope. Tune in. They got some exclusive dope shit every show. Be sure to just tune in. All right.
Oh man, we got some Christmas gifts too.
Oh yeah, they got some Christmas
shoot.
shit.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So like, let me give you the rundown. If you haven't tuned in to Voice One before, we discuss topics that have an impact on today's society. So without further ado, how's everybody's week been?
Did y'all miss me?
Yeah,
Wait.
we did.
Actually, last Friday.
Stop. You know, not you. I'm not asking about you. You hate me, which is your job,
Exactly.
and it's my job to make you hate me. So you're welcome, and you're welcome.
Well, last Friday, that was the botched episode that we did.
Oh well, yeah, the Friday before last. Yeah, we tried
so
to
then-
do.
We were off last week.
Oh, that's right. I
Last-
forgot
So did you guys
holidays.
miss me?
Did you miss us?
Did you miss us?
Did you miss us? I missed us because I forgot about us even.
You know what, man? It was a holiday weekend, a couple days
man.
off.
Thanksgiving. We
Oh,
have to
man.
go out and give to the people of Kansas City.
Oh yeah, what did you guys do for Thanksgiving? Tell us, boys.
I don't celebrate Thanksgiving.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
I
what
don't-
did you do on Thanksgiving?
Me and
Trash Panda, Heel
me
Panda.
and Trash over there, we went, and along with the other
Nickelback Johnson.
and T-Ron, aka Drippy Jackson. We all went out. We gave out food and like supply kits
Nice.
to the needy, and it was an interesting. It's not that it was an eye-opening experience. It just reminded me how many people just don't have their basic needs met, and how like super happy they are to receive kindness from people, and it just kind of it sucks that we only think about it like once or twice a year, but yeah, it was.
Y'all only think about it once or twice a year.
When I say we, I'm like I'm
He's
talking about the
people in
zeitgeist. People in general, they're like, oh, it's the holidays. I need to be nice. The rest of the year, you're assholes to people. So
Yeah.
Be assholes during the holidays too. Why not?
they are to their own families.
Like continue
Well,
to
that's
have
very nice.
continue to have that generosity, that the feeling of giving beyond the Christmas holidays. I mean, between Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it
Christmas
seems
and
to
New
me when
Year's.
shit really goes up, like charity wise. Me though, personally, I have like a group of cosplayers that I work with, and we go.
That's right. Y'all do
And
some dope stuff.
We go around and we do charity work with like the Boys and Girls Club.
That's
we
good.
we do the Eagle Scouts of Kansas City, Kansas, and Missouri. We go to the hospitals and the children's ward and stuff like that. That's like a month to month thing for me. So it's like I'm always
hold on,
in that.
hold on. So this time of year, this is where the suicides are at their highest. For those of you who don't know, you around
Especially
family.
male suicide.
Male suicides are definitely higher than women's suicides. So I'm going to throw out the National Suicide Hotline number, 1-800-273-8255. Get some help. You can inbox me. I'll talk to you, whatever. A lot of times it's cries for help, and the people who really need help don't actually seek it. So please seek the help that you need this holiday season with Christmas coming up. Again, that's 1-800-273-8255.
And that's really good that you brought that up, because that's something we've been talking about at my job. So I'm a fitness trainer, and we are adjusting everything for holidays, for the COVID restrictions. We shifted a portion of our classes to we shifted a portion of our classes to online. And what we have been hearing is just it's extra challenging for people. And there are some things that we should just be doing in general anyway when it gets around this time of year. Because, like, depression is real.
Yep.
And people, like, they feel the stress, it gets real. There's some basic health and wellness stuff that, like, it's just good for you, man. Get your vitamin D, get your B vitamins, get your exercise in, stay active. Surround yourself with people who are going to continue to, like, be positive for you. Those are some things. Those are some action steps that we can take. And like you said, the people who need help don't always seek it.
Right.
Friends, keep an eye open, pay attention.
You're not
have each
gonna
other's
know.
back. No, you're not gonna know. But it's
I'll
what
tell
it
you-
is. What's important is like
Just check up on your friends. What he's saying.
yeah,
just
that's
make
what I'm
sure
saying.
you
Like
it
check
out.
on your friends and you know, be
Because I'll
caring.
tell you what, the more depressed I am, the less you're gonna know.
Yes, correct.
You're really
yeah.
not. Like
No, that's
I'm gonna
correct.
put on a good game, yo. I'm gonna put on because I don't want you to think that I am. So I'm just gonna not be that.
Yeah.
So I don't even put on a good game. I just pop on my PS4. I just hop on my game, and I'm murdering shit.
Oh no, when
Or I'm
life is
asleep or I'm cooking.
when life is really bad for me, I just want to be out doing stuff all the time. I want to stay busy because in my mind I'm like staying busy, so I don't think about it. But when everything stops, that's when like it just comes flooding in. That's for me. Oh, who said hello? Oh, hi,
What's up,
Franco.
Franco? What's up?
What's
I know you are a part of the fam.
Yeah. Man, you know what? All right, I'm gonna call a complete audible right now
All right.
because I know we have some stuff set up that we want to dig into. But like, you know, family. This is a challenging time for a lot of people. This time of year.
Yeah.
Either A, you have family that is just hard to deal with.
Yeah.
Raise your hand if that's you.
My family's dead now, so that's not me.
Or
anymore.
B, yeah, your family's not with you anymore.
No.
Or C, you're far away from your family. You know, I think like we can.
I mean, I still have my brother and sister, so I'm not saying they're all dead, but
They have their.
I do the same. But I'm never home when I'm depressed. But it's harder to do that during the pandemic. That is very
That
true.
is true.
So this year is especially hard
Yeah.
for those people. So again, let me do this one more time. 1-800-273-8255. If you are feeling down and you don't want nobody to know, this is anonymous people that can help you through it. I think that's the biggest thing for me when I say this. Like, I don't want my friends to know because I'm the strong friend. I'm the helper friend.
Yeah.
And I don't want them to think that they can't count on me because I'm...
And
know
that's
what I'm
kind of
saying?
like the role you took for your family, like for the longest too.
Yeah.
Like, you were there's always somebody in the family that's like the one
that they
that's
can call.
calling everybody.
That's the glue.
Yeah. You know, and it's like it's extra rough.
Hi,
So,
Veronica, Ronnie Wilcox.
I'm definitely the rock in my family.
Like Dwayne,
Yes.
can you do the eyebrow thing?
Say what you're going to say and then I'm going to read a comment.
I'm sorry.
Keep it up, man. I come off as like the social butterfly that everyone can just flock to, but deep down inside, I'm very antisocial. Like I have this just deep rooted hate for people, and I don't understand it. But like I'm the most social person, and I feel like when I get depressed, that's why I just stay to myself instead of. I'm not one of those people. When I'm depressed, I need to be alone. I need to just be left alone. And but that part of my brain was all like, you still got people you got to take care of.
Yeah.
So then I overcook or I overclean or I just,
Hey, you know what? Cooking is that's a good what you call it? It's a good dopamine trigger.
yeah.
Cooking and eating.
So Ronnie said,
Yeah, go for it.
it is. Ronnie said, I have to wait because I just switched through the comments and now it's going to take a second. Okay. That's why I was so silent on social media all year because I wasn't in the mood to fake it. So y'all just won't hear a peep. I feel like the strong friend too. You are strong too. But as a friend, I want to help if you're down. I know, Ronnie. I understand. But you're not. Well, you do help, actually, Ronnie. You have been there for me when I've been very depressed. And that's why you be going out with me when I be having them hard times in life. That's why you be my DD all night. I'm just saying, like, I'm just gonna drink and go out and just, have a good time and
It's
not
always
eat.
listen. All right, so for me, like that one person that I can,
Typically.
when I get depressed and then there's always one person that notices, and like when he noticed, it's because I guess there's certain things I say.
I was about to say you got to tell.
Yeah, I have a tell apparently, and I ain't know this shit. But so like sometimes when I'm gaming, I'll live stream.
Oh, okay.
And he can tell by what game I'm live streaming
Oh.
what mood I'm in.
Okay.
Okay, that makes
So
sense.
if I'm live,
I remember I'm like,
So if you're live streaming sinuous sacrifice, then you're like deathly.
Actually, when he knows I am at like the bottom of the bottom and I'm like ready to snap on somebody, I'm apparently live streaming Madden.
Man.
Yeah.
Man.
see, when I'm about to
Okay.
snap on somebody, that's different
Because
than
like
depression. for
fighting
me.
games are my fighting and shooting games are my happy games. RPGs are just like my calm, chill, I'm high today games. But apparently Madden is the game I go to when I'm like pissed off,
Wanna fuck
and
some
ready to
people up.
fuck somebody up. Because like I tend to ruin people's gays on that game.
That's an
So
interesting.
he always shows up. He always shows up when the stream is over. I'm just like, I don't.
That's
understand.
interesting. Like I can't play games when I'm like down, when I'm frustrated. First of all, like I said, this is the audible. When you are going through your depressed state, your depressed mode, like what is that like? For me, when I'm depressed, I get like,
too.
yeah, same thing for y'all. Thank you. When you're going through your like depression states, you have in your episodes. What is that experience like? For me, like I'm a pretty even person. Normally, I'm just like chill. But when I get depressed, I actually get very angry. I get very angry and upset, and so I always have to do something with my hands. I have to build something. I have to be creating something.
Yeah.
Well, because you hit with your hands for like, that's what you do. So it makes sense that you wouldn't want to.
What are you talking about? I
mean, that's
I
like what you
create
do.
beautiful works of
Like, I'm
art
talking about your
with my
fighting.
hands. Yes, me too.
Oh, okay.
I was actually, it's funny. Earlier today, I went and found some old DVDs of some of my earliest fights, and it was two of them in particular. And the combined time of those fights is 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Wow.
Damn.
And it was one of them was I broke a dude's leg, and the other one is I broke a dude's arm.
Good
Damn.
job. Oh, we have a big comment.
Go ahead again. Go ahead
Oh.
and get into it.
Here we go. Franco. Being from the ghetto prepared me for all types of situations. I've achieved how to mask my feelings, mainly bad, and focus on the positives. We all go through it, but I try to do things that take my mind off the thing that take me to that space.
Yeah.
Yep. My daddy used to tell me that crying was weakness. So like for me, that was something that you never saw me do growing up until
See,
you
not
went
like
with
for
me.
real.
And then
Yeah.
my husband left me or tried to kill
And
me.
this
And
woman,
that
hold on,
was-
wait, listen. This woman will have tears running down her face. What's wrong? Nothing.
Like as an adult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing's wrong.
Because
Tear,
I
tear,
didn't know.
tear,
I don't
tear,
know
tear,
how to
tear.
cry. Like I just. You
don't know,
you
man.
don't if you're not allowed to express your emotions properly when you get older, you just express
don't-
them and
yeah,
you're like
You're just emotionally
nothing.
crippled.
Like what were you gonna say? Yeah.
Nah, I just.
I have literally 3 settings: sleep, anger, and like, all right,
Happy.
that's it. No,
What were you gonna
sleep,
say,
anger,
Kyle?
night.
No, I was just saying, like, I think for me, I learned not to dwell on shit too long. You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like when shit feeling like rock bottom, it's no time to be sitting up there. Like no more, I think of it different. So I get my peace of mind, I disappear for a bit, and then I get back at it. I think for me, I just hustle.
Yeah. Everybody here is creative.
Yeah.
And y'all find creative
Yeah.
outlets. Like
So-
every once in a while I'll
so
pull
here's
out
a-
my sketch pad.
So
and
let's
get
go
back
through.
to
Yeah,
work
let's
now.
go through and talk about creative outlets. You, then you. That we'll go down the road.
Yeah.
And what's your creative
All right.
outlets? So go ahead.
Oh, all right. I mean, after we do this, I got what I feel like is $1 million question. I guess. So I grew up in My dad was born in Norway, and I grew up on the Norwegian beliefs and stuff like that. So, considering this isn't a time of war, what I do is I create little ships.
That's cool.
Okay.
I create little
Like ships in a bottle or just ships?
No, just ships.
Okay.
That's what's up.
I started it with my little boy, my
that's cool.
oldest kid.
Yeah.
And then it evolved from just creating little ships and got more into focusing on my cosplay.
Okay.
That's what's up.
That's dope.
Well, and you see how the outcome of that is you've kind of like made a career out of all that
Yeah.
creativity. So
Yeah. I'll say, you know,
Oh yeah,
Go-
like, y'all, all right, so he's a pro wrestler too. He like, sorry,
Right.
yeah.
well, yeah.
well, we got to go through the
I know.
lineup first.
We got time to.
We know
talk.
Kyle never gets to speak, so go ahead.
I don't know. Just have at it.
We hold him hostage.
No. Just pretty much what I do is just be. I'm trying to be a creative genius. So just whatever I do, audio, I do video, photography, graphic design, all that shit along that, audio, visual. I do that shit. I'm fucking MacGyver right in front of you,
Yeah.
a light skin one.
That's true.
I'll fucking whittle a bomb out of a Timex watch and a roll of duct tape.
True, I seen it.
Was it effective? No.
Yes, it
but
was.
did it happen? Yes. Did we
was.
catch a turkey afterwards?
What?
We did.
That is a story for another time.
Uh-huh.
Don't give him that.
So
I just-
Spoiler alert:
I just work here.
we got beat up by that turkey.
You said- So,
And by
Laura,
we mean him. He got beat up by the turkey.
We
Okay.
were
recorded
smart.
it. We recorded it. We were
We were
smart.
I would like to, if y'all recorded that, we would be showing it right now. And here's from our clip.
And by beat up by a turkey, it wasn't even a turkey. It was this Satan's. It
I'm
was,
just saying.
Satan's chicken bush itself, the cassowary.
We
Oh God!
Okay.
show it
That's still in my body. No.
Listen, so for me, what my creative outlet is, and first we want to ask, what's your creative outlet? If you guys are depressed or upset or whatever, what's your creative outlet? Tell us in the comments. But for me, it's writing.
Yes,
I mean, that's simple.
That's right.
And I'm dope. Okay, I know
She
this.
got video up on
I'm-
Facebook. You can watch
I'm
her
talented.
perform. Skills.
But I am very.
Bars.
But you know what? You know what? It is the scariest thing for me to do. I have extreme
Really?
stage fright because I know that it's not of me. I know that it's a gift of God. And I know that that's how I will, like, one way for me to grow. And so that's how I know, because it's not my comfort zone. And that's how when you're not in your comfort zone and you move into the place that's not your comfort zone, like, that's the only way you can really grow.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, all of my poetry is pain. Like, it ends with a happy ending, kind of, but it's all pain. I draw and cut hair and also
Franco.
write too. Oh,
Yeah.
I want to see some of your drawings.
I want to see some
Okay.
haircuts. Can you hook this up?
Daddy,
Save that, dude.
What?
What?
Don't.
what's your creative outlet?
So
Fighting
I have multiple creative outlets. Sometimes I do break out the sketch pad. Sometimes I do little ink work designs. Sometimes I try to write. I'm not a great writer. I do video stuff. I do graphic design stuff. But some of my creative outlets, like when I like to combine them. So I like to train. I like to be creative in my physical fitness, my conditioning, because it allows me to exercise more of my brain and my body. And that's a great way for me to just kind of get out of a bad mood. It's like I'm using my brain in different ways, and I get really focused on like exploring like my mental states.
Well, working out makes endorphins, and endorphins make you happy.
Yeah. Well, that is true. Working out is a trigger for endorphins, but so is flow state. Flow state, you got endorphins, you got dopamine.
What is flow state?
Transient hyperfrontalism. This is a mental state where your conscious mind begins to quiet down a little bit. You get more action on your subconscious mind. There's a lot of really cool, like, actually the activity in your brain decreases, and you're able to.
Oh,
you're able.
my bad.
Anyway, check out. There's 3 books you should check out. Stephen Kotler's The Rise of Superman and Stealing Fire. along with Mihai Csikszentmihalyi's study on flow. This is something we've known about for about 150 years, but in the last 10 years, with the growth of like the field of neurology and brain chemistry, like they finally are like, oh, that's what's happening. You know,
And you know what? And like another suggestion that I would like to throw out there that's very helpful. So like if you really can't find anything that puts you in a good place, always look up porn bloopers.
He said, okay, I'm going to read some comments. On that note, let me read some comments real quick.
Shit.
Ronnie says, creating helps me stay busy, but eventually I have to deal with the emotional situation. So after 7 months of nonstop, I took a couple days just to shut down and feel. Now I'm back on my grind, veils, and started a new makeup business. Which, if you don't know, VeronicaCouture.com. She does custom veils. She's getting a little plug. She also said, they super dope. She also said, I started my makeup business to get out of depressive behaviors and into self-care. Because that's true. Like when you are depressed, you do want to go ahead and focus on self-care.
So would this statement be true? The I don't mind is the devil's playground.
I think it can be, but check this out. Like she made a whole business out of her depression, and I kind of like I've heard that story a lot.
But see, but like, like,
you
know what I mean?
All right, so I was one. Yeah, there's only 3 cosplayers who were ever featured in a cosplay magazine that was based in Japan. Usually, it's just either Japanese or Korean cosplayers. There were only 3 cosplayers from Canada to ever feature on their
Canada.
Yeah, that's where I was originally born.
No, I got you.
It was me and then 2 other cosplayers. I forgot their names because I didn't really pay attention to them.
I thought Canadians were really nice.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
No, they are.
You have your stereotypes, and then you have me. And the way I ended up, the costume that got me on that magazine was my Perfect Cell cosplay, and I made that while I was depressed, and that's what started me becoming a professional cosplayer.
Oh.
You know what? Someone like look at it. Like the people like channel that energy and do something good with it, and they occupy their mind to get your mind off.
Yeah, and it was after a breakup, so it was more one of those. I was depressed. She had just dumped me like 2 weeks after we buried my uncle.
Oh,
and
wow.
like
it's a horrible time to break up with
like
someone.
my first wolf
witch.
that I've ever owned had passed away that weekend too.
In Canada? You own the wolf in Canada?
I mean, I have 2 of them out here too.
That's such a Canadian thing to do.
Is
Continue.
it? That's a Viking thing to do.
Feels Canadian.
Okay.
I
think
know.
the Canadian thing to do is to own a moose.
I think the Canadian thing to do is leave Moose alone.
Now, but
Hi, Malachi. Malachi, you can just ask the question in the comments because I'm not going to answer your phone call.
But
Hey,
so it was all that led me to depression, and I think it was just me saying, fuck everybody, I'm gonna be famous, bitch. And I made Perfect Cell, and I entered a cosplay contest, and I won that shit.
Well, with that being said, would it take, like when people like stuff like that happen, like so how people become successful for things out of what they take out of that negative energy, would that say people will be taken out of their comfort zone?
Yeah, I think because they're not comfortable when they make these decisions. It's really hard. The hardest that depression ever hit me, that was normally I know when I'm depressed.
Right.
Like I know something bad happened. I don't want to think about it. I'm depressed, so I don't eat. I go out. I drink. I do whatever. I spend time in the Word ultimately, but I have a little moment.
I think in depression, when you find a routine. You find a routine, the most soothing routine, and it's going to sound really fucking dark. The most soothing routine for you is a form of killing yourself.
Yeah,
For me, my form
you're
of
right.
killing myself is I need to make a different character now.
With my deepest times, my form of killing myself was actually killing myself. I took pills, and I took my mother's pills that if you take too many, they will kill you.
Yeah.
And I threw them all up. And then the other time I put a gun to my head and my gun jammed. It's the only time I've ever had a gun jam, and that was it. So I guess I'm not supposed to kill myself. But my darkest, I
God
think
was talking.
you said what?
God was talking.
Right. He was like, nope. My deepest, my
Oh, I should have been dead a long time ago.
when my dad died, my depression looked a lot different, and I didn't know because I didn't recognize it. I was sleeping all the time. I didn't want to do stuff because I was busy dealing with that stuff with my sister. Me and my sister were dealing with the funeral and all that kind of stuff and closing down his estate, whatever was left. And it was just, then it was the holidays, and it was the first holidays without both my parents. And it was just, I realized I gained 35 pounds in 3 months, and then COVID happened.
Damn.
And so, and then I realized that, okay, hey, I'm depressed. And I realized that like January, February, me realizing it made me want to step outside my comfort zone and go and do some stuff, but I still didn't really want to do anything. So I still was depressed probably for another, 3 to 4 months or something. We have a comment.
First time depression majorly hit me, I went from weighing like 120 to 275.
He said, that's how I got good at cutting hair. My mother gave me a chili bowl, and it was depressing. I stayed in the mirror and looked how to cut my own hair. So now I'll be a shop owner soon. Oh, his brother did. Wow, I thought only white people did that.
Look,
that was
Chili bowl.
Yeah.
Man,
That was gonna be my question, by the way. Do you think that certain things, like there are certain things that really hit that depression button that you would never expect to hit your depression?
Of course.
Right. Yeah.
Like what are those things?
I don't know, but of course.
Because I'm not gonna lie. Hey, look, this dude. If my mom had gave me the bowl cut,
He said, he fixed it, said brother. You said if she gave you a bowl cut, what?
Elementary school with Payless shoes on. One time I had a pair on that was actually the real imitation of the Jordans. And the dude that actually
the real imitation?
The imitation Jordans.
Okay.
And the dude that was standing right behind me in the line had the real pair on.
I remember I had.
So that caused me to go into this whole thing to where like I was trying to get some money because like my mom we didn't have much funds like that. So like what I'm saying, that encouraged me to get out there on my own and try to like even at a younger age to like pick up side hustles, and so I can get me like a little pair of nights so I won't be getting cracked on and shit. Like those are times, like rough times. I seen those times. I reflect on other times I had, and then I look at other people, and what gets me out of my little hump is like, shit, I'm not as bad. There's people out here more fucked up than I am at this point. You know what I'm saying? I gotta be fortunate from where I sit right now. And what I could do. Fuck yeah, Pro Wings and XJ900s. Man, them shit used to be on my.
Do you guys think you can find solace in other things that aren't as creative, such as like religion and stuff like that? Like, do you think your upbringing in different types of religions kind of helps guide you in how to deal with your depression?
Yes, 1,000%. 1,000%. And I can't say my upbringing because my father, I wasn't religious growing up. My father was an abusive alcoholic. I mean, the reason why you're not allowed to hit your kids is because of this man right here. Like that was like that borderline.
I would love to compare beating stories. I'm not.
I mean, we can do it. It's like, but it's so for me, he was a Catholic.
Oof.
But he was not a practicing Catholic due to the fact that the Catholic Church, since he didn't annul his first marriage, because they said you wouldn't. Now this was the 70s when he first got divorced. They said if you need to annul your marriage, and if you do, you can't have anything to do with your kids. Well, this was in the 70s, Catholic Church. You annul your marriage, like he still would have his legal obligations, but like his kids could no longer be recognized. Either they would be with him or he could have nothing. It was no like back and forth, whatever. And so he was like, well, I'm not going to do that. So then they kicked him out and said, well, you're getting divorced. And so it was like, all right. So my dad just kind of turned his back on it. And, he went to the drinking, and he's been drinking as long as I known him. So
religiously, for my family, at the age of 10, you are grown enough to go to war with the man.
Go to war with what?
The man.
The man.
Oh, okay.
At the age of 10.
Religiously for what's the Viking?
Yes.
Is that a religion?
Yes. It is Nordic religion. It is a whole.
I
So-
thought those were the people.
Nordic.
No. Nordic and Nordic religion, like Norwegian religion. That is all. It's the same thing. It's
Okay.
Odin, Thor, all that. So, your rite of passage is being able to participate in what is known as the Gulag at the age of 10.
Which is?
All men during a family gathering, the men are just in a field. Last one standing is the head of the table for whatever festive thing we're doing.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, I woke up with 2 cracked ribs, a fractured skull, and a broken nose.
That does not sound like fun.
It was. I was a Wolverine shit. I'm not gonna lie.
You said-
Holiday math.
You have an article.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna bring this up in a second. My upbringing and like combined with my religious upbringing was not a great mix because I mean, first of all, like my mom, she did an amazing job providing good times for us. We went through some hard times until we moved back up here. But there were some things that she would say that really just like messed my mind up until like an adult. Like she said, "Oh, you're safe. You're not supposed to be depressed." So when you're depressed,
I know when people say stuff like that.
so when you're depressed, it's like all of that was negated, and then you know what I'm saying.
I'm sorry, if I was told something like that, I'd have to say, "Well, stop saving me then, because I need this." It's called character development.
You're not supposed to walk off stage. Go ahead.
Then like my like the teaching that I received here was very what's the best way I can like from my perspective now it was very motivational mumbo jumbo because we got taught you need to know this, you need to know that, know the word, but then there was no practical life application for it except for certain people, and I wasn't one of those certain people, and so that really frustrated and depressed me. So what I did learn, I started studying and reading. What I did learn
Andrea.
was to understand, like, hey, you know what? Your feelings and our emotions are a part of you. They are important. Learn them. Because if you got tools that you don't understand how to use, you're gonna hurt yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like suppressing someone's emotions is how you create psychopaths.
Yes.
Yes.
Like,
100%.
Oh,
want to breed a psychopath? Tell him the Lord said that being sad is against His will.
You know,
off the air, I'm gonna tell you some stories of these people. There's a guy who's in prison for murder. There's another guy that should be in prison for sexual abuse. He's still working.
There's a lot of those out there.
You know, I'll say I had a conversation
Trump?
with someone.
No.
Oh.
I had a conversation with someone earlier today when I talked about it sucks that the word of God to me is so pure, but there's so many people who take it and use it for their own advantage, for their own selfish gain, and twist it so it can work. So it's very important for you to study it out yourself, because if you're not and you're just listening to what somebody else says that the word says, then you're never really going to know what the word, because they say stuff like cleanliness is next to godliness. I mean, it does kind of talk about the old man, the new man, but all the people that were around Jesus were not the cleanest people in the world, you know.
Yeah.
It's like some of this stuff is not exactly necessarily biblical,
you know,
And it
Christ
just
also
sucks.
pointed out, taking care of the poor, taking care of the orphans,
And that's
the
one thing
widows.
churches
and
don't
that's-
be- well-
churches, what they do is they open a food pantry and say, "There, we took care of them."
I mean, to an
a few
extent.
times out the year.
Yeah, now to an extent that might be a start. I mean, there's different ways to do it, but a few times out the year is not, I mean, that's a whole nother, we can go down that. That's a whole nother rabbit hole.
I mean, but it's still at the same time,
It's
you know,
why-
even though it's a little bit, I still don't knock you for
So-
it.
So this,
appreciate every bit that
This
everybody can help.
article is an interesting one. This is from psychreg.org. Talks about how depression can boost your creativity. And you know what? This isn't really something that's super
Unknown.
unexpected,
Right.
unknown. There are people
best
there are
comedians are the most
actors,
depressed
comedians,
comedians.
and you know what? They embrace it. Excuse me. They embrace it because they know, like, okay, whatever this thing is makes me good at that, so I'm gonna make it work for me. And I think for comedians, they kind of have like an unfair advantage because most of them realize it real quick. The rest of us gotta kind of like. We're like we don't like feeling like this. I don't like doing this, you know.
It's how I figured out that I was good at cosplaying and entertaining.
Just a couple of highlights. Depressed people are thorough analysts. Creative people contemplate more often.
Yes.
Depression forces us to improve.
Where they close the doors when there's a mega flood. Cough. Joel Osteen. Cough. I don't think Joel Osteen is he's a motivational speaker.
He is
that
a
uses the Bible.
He's a motivational
to do it. That's what he is.
grifter.
He's a motivational speaker who uses the Bible
It's not even that.
to
He's
motivational
a con man.
speak.
He's a grifter.
He's
He is a con man.
I'm sorry. Okay,
You know what? Hey, I
Art
can tell you
is-
some motivational shit for $100,000 every Sunday. Come tune in.
Is that the
My
new show?
Cash App is Cal 10 Grande.
Is that the new show?
Okay.
I accept Bitcoin. I don't accept bullshit. I mean, I don't accept monopoly money. American currency, yen, German marks. What's that? Pesos, yen. I accept all that shit, and I will give you one free titty.
No,
No free
free
titties.
titties.
One free titty.
No.
For the
It's a
low
policy.
price.
It's a policy. He's not even allowed to say that on the air.
Try, y'all.
He'll be fined.
I tried.
He said one free
I
titty.
fuck-
though.
We
Look
said-
at that.
You
PayPal.
know, I'll say art, the most beautiful art comes from the saddest situations.
Yeah.
Matter of opinion, but it's what I believe.
I think
Yeah.
I feel like
There's
I looked at
something-
the Mona Lisa and I was like, this bitch had to die or something like that right after this because this.
well, the thing,
Unless that
Somebody
you accept
farted in the
Bitcoin.
I think what it is, like, we appreciate stuff that provokes the strongest emotions. And you know, anger. Well, we like some things that provoke the strongest emotions. That's why social media is the way it is. People
yeah.
like, you hate the stuff that you're reading about. You hate the stuff that people saying, but you're reading it and you're clicking on it.
I feel like for some people they love this shit though.
There are some people that
Like they love it.
somebody's
It's like,
making money off of it.
Look,
Because like if they don't have nothing to be angry about, they ain't got.
I'll tell you who loves it. Google.
I'm gonna tell Google
Facebook.
sure does. I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't scroll on Facebook for real. Okay, I don't. I get on, if I post something, I go straight to the notifications. I check the notifications. So if y'all be like, did you see it? The answer is
No.
because I don't scroll. I decided yesterday or day before yesterday.
That's a new drug PSA. Say no, don't scroll.
Okay, but I
Winners
decided
don't scroll.
I decided I'd scroll. The second post I seen says, "Who's more racist, white men or white women?" Like, and for me, like that's all I hear. Like, there's nobody else that can. I forgot only white people can be racist. Like that.
Well,
It's- that's what it's
created
full
the
of,
construct of
but that's the
racism.
thing. Yeah, and the Facebook algorithm is like, oh,
they,
let's
they
click on
created
these.
the modern construct of racism because
But-
racism's always been a thing. It just hasn't been racism. It's been classism. It's been what's that called? Your ethnicism.
Ethnicity.
That's ethnicity
Ethnocentrism.
because race
Or
has only
tribalism
been
is a way to look at
tribal. There you go. Because race has only been a thing for the
Maybe
past
100.
400 years
it. Not even.
since the before the 1600s. White was only used to describe a rich woman who stayed inside all day. That's it. Like
'Cause her
before that,
skin
it was
was-
never because her skin
Never
was.
got no sunlight.
Look, I do not touch the sun, and as you see, the light is reflecting off of me. I'm not rich though, but I'm definitely white, as you see.
But you know what?
Frederick.
People of Facebook.
But it's like that's what they do on
and
Facebook. It's like, why am I a party
I
shenanigans?
get all my. I scroll because I like the why. I get a little kick out of the ignorant shit.
I love my feed because all I get is nerdy shit and half naked women.
But so
And I'm fine with that.
So y'all see how when we brought that up, everybody is excited because that stuff triggers us. It's the same thing with music.
Yeah.
A lot of times people will they'll retreat into music that either amplifies,
Hatred,
not just hatred, but the feeling that they.
whatever you feel right now.
So like you have an angry song to listen to. Like when you're on your way to work, you about to cuss that girl out. You listen to that thug music, right?
That 3-6 Mafia.
Yeah.
Man, when I'm in the gym,
I listen to Jesus music when I want to cuss somebody out because I need to calm down. Because y'all know I'm not going to I
try
can't do it.
Jesus. Don't try me.
All right, so
Because I don't.
for me, I'm gonna get real corny because I'll translate a lot of my emotions through music. I like that melancholy music.
Yeah.
I like a lot of classical music. I listen to Chopin's. I can't remember the full name of it, but it's Raindrop. It's a very dramatic and emotional piece, and it's crazy.
I know it sounds weird, but like when I'm like pissed and I know that I'm about to go fight or something like that, I blare Symphony No. 7 by Bach. Or not Bach. It's I forgot his name. Because they use it in a lot of movies, and it's just like it makes me feel so Mozart. There we go.
I can't.
There's this one really cool
Movies.
It's an Italian piece. Appraggiata Adagio.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like I don't know what drew my attention to this. I don't know how I came across this song, but when I heard it, I'm like, what is this song? It took me like a year to find it and download it. I bought it on a phone that I don't even own anymore, and I had to re-download it and stuff because I don't know, it does something on the inside, and it's
it just makes it. Symphony No. 7 makes me wrestle better.
You know, when I work out, I like to listen to some southern music, southern hip hop music.
Oh yeah,
and some reason they give me hype, and I just be going in and going hard.
So Outkast and Big Boy and them.
Man, all of it. And even now. Even
Roots,
and then I like something about when I'm really motivated, I like 70s style music, even funk, the 70s.
That stuff
and then,
have layers, man. You know.
Yeah, and see and stuff like Anderson .Paak and Dre's production is because when you listen to even reason why I like the 70s music so much is because they use a lot of live instruments, and so when you hear the live instruments, it just has a different effect.
Yeah.
And it has a more crisp sound and feeling to it. And it was much better because you felt like it was more work put into it versus now somebody just get a
just cranking out a beat.
Sometimes when I'm depressed, I just listen to instrumentals too.
Yeah,
straight up.
Hey, so when you guys, whether you're depressed or you're just in a mood, what are some of your favorite genres of music? What are some of your favorite songs?
Oh, movies is another one.
Sometimes, when I'm in a real chill mood or when I'm doing research for something, I'll listen to the lo-fi study beats. I know it's corny, but that stuff is actually really good to help you kind of get into the zone of, reading and doing research. When I'm doing work for stuff here, I actually listen to podcasts. I nerd out while I'm nerding out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What are some of y'all's favorite podcasts other than One Voice Radio?
What movie do y'all watch? What genre of movie do y'all watch?
I fucking love comedy.
Your emotions.
Comedy.
I can't do comedies.
Man, you can't do comedy.
I don't.
No, you know what?
So,
stand up is my top shit.
Stand up is good.
I fucking love it. What puts me back in a good place is fucking Richard Pryor, George Carlin, the old Eddie Murphy, Dave Chappelle. I could always go back to some Dave, especially the latest shit that Dave dropped.
So here's the fucked up thing. If I'm depressed and I want to watch a movie, I'll watch shit like Set It Off because I know it's not gonna end well.
Everybody dies.
I'm gonna get attached to all you bitches, and I know y'all gonna die, but I'm gonna get attached, and it's not gonna end well.
I like Joe Rogan. Oh, that's Franco. Oh my gosh, I thought that would be Francisco.
I can't listen to Joe Rogan because he spends the first 45 minutes reading ads, and I'm just like, screw this. 3-hour podcast.
You know who has a good ordeal? Christopher Titus.
Oh yeah, he's
I don't
my
know
number
who
one.
that is.
He has
He's my
some
number.
good
He's
shit.
my favorite comedian, favorite podcast. Chris
I
Tucker.
love his, and I miss him as a comedian.
Brilliant Idiots.
Oh, he
Yeah.
just recorded a new special.
Did he?
Yeah,
I did.
yeah. I'll tell you all about it.
Oh man,
What's it on? What's it on?
The show
He's
Titus.
releasing it through his website.
Okay.
He started.
Oh, I know who that is.
He started a
I
whole
just don't know his
business.
name.
He started a whole business. Like he left Comedy Central because they were trying to give him 30% of his stuff.
Man, I got something to
So
say.
he
after
went
that.
fully solo, and he's been running stuff
it's-
out of his house for the past 10
Man,
years.
don't you think that
Wow.
Comedy Central
It's-
make like several like comedians or actors like had this thing going on with Comedy Central and it all
Yeah,
ended
they're not getting paid
bad.
off of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's why Kevin Hart was all. Kevin Hart mentioned it during an interview one time. So like the biggest reason I started the iHeart Radio and shit like that and everything that I'm starting is because when Comedy Central made me an offer, I was only going to get 25%
Yeah.
of everything I was going to make for my
Them dudes
shit.
from
And I'm
TMZ.
selling out stadiums and shit.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
He was,
yeah.
These
And
guys
I
are generating
understand.
like millions and hundreds of millions of dollars. They're getting paid like chump change.
And you know what's so crazy is the recent shit about when Dave Chappelle did a recent comedy did a show and he was like, don't you boycott me, take that shit off of Netflix, and Netflix took that shit off.
Yeah.
They listened to
And
him
it's because
he wasn't getting
who
paid.
owns
He wasn't
Comedy
getting paid
Central?
for it.
Viacom CBS.
Viacom CBS is one of the many devils that run
MTV.
It's why
BET.
no lie though, the recent story with Dave Chappelle, because they cut him a check after they took it off. They cut him a check as an apology. That was one of the things he brought up. He's all like, "So he said I will work with Netflix." They cut me a check after they took up. I asked them respectfully to take my stuff off. They took my stuff off. They wrote me a check, but it's other streaming medias that ended up buying the
like
rights.
Hulu and
No, Hulu.
No, Hulu have it.
Hulu-
HBO Max.
Yeah,
HBO
HBO
Max,
Max. It's HBO Max and other streaming services that are just showing stuff and not paying him for showing his stuff.
Oh.
And
What's
and
did
he's-
his
and
original
it's
contract
why-
have
no, it was the
royalties, though?
Chappelle show.
Nah, see, like
Like,
he
but if
said,
he didn't have royalties, I mean, I know it's the Chappelle show, but depending on what his original contract was,
he said at a
that
time
might be why.
he was broke at that time and he didn't really fully understand the
That makes
contract.
sense.
And he saw a big money and that would take care of his family. So he
Right.
signed that contract. It was looked good at him at that time.
But the thing is, if you don't have
But-
royalties in your contract and the whole ownership goes to
the
someone
thing
else,
is, when he came back and after
know.
he did his new special, the royalties were then signed over to him
royalties for the
for
special
the
he did.
Chappelle show.
Oh, well, if it is, then Hulu and them need to be paying him.
But it's
Netflix.
Comedy Central
Mm.
that's not paying him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Viacom
So
CBS is
other
trying to hold
streaming
on
services are using that as a backdoor to be like, hey, we're going to pay you this amount so we can play it on our streaming service now.
And the amount that they're paying is not
I don't
nothing
pay for
compared
anything.
to
I
amount
stream
that
everything
he's bringing
illegally,
in.
so that's
So legally they're doing it, and legally Dave Chappelle's just like, hey, fucking boycott me.
Yeah.
If it's another stream, if it's pretty much he went, if it's not Netflix and Hulu because they are actually paying me for the stuff that they use from me, boycott them. Boycott me. Don't boycott the company. Boycott me.
We got like 4 minutes. Y'all have any last words or insights when it comes to depression, your feelings, emotions, good times, bad times, music, creativity, all that stuff?
The best person to talk to.
Give it a count. Give it a count.
No, I was about to say something probably about as equivalently ignorant as what he's probably about to say.
Wow. We just assume who's going to be ignorant?
Yes.
Yeah.
Look, when it comes to depression and you feel like you need to talk to somebody, but you have certain people you don't want to see you weak, the best person to talk to in that situation is the motherfucker you talk to every once in a while. Because that they can give you the best unbiased advice that you can ask for.
And I
In my
apologize because he did not say something ignorant.
now
and
you
it's
gonna say
very
something
resourceful.
ignorant.
Now, let me get on to my ignorant shit. All right. Also consider all those options. Reach out to someone that you haven't spoke to in a while that you can confide with and know that
That
they can
for
keep
real
some,
feels good.
someone that you can go to
Yeah.
that you can speak to that has a better understanding of you. Also, porn bloopers and other shit. Go down the rabbit hole.
Go down
Get on
the
some goofy
rabbit
shit.
hole.
Always look.
Be careful when you down that rabbit rabbit hole though.
Yeah.
You might find some stuff that's
That's not that.
You may not get your
Let me
hand
finish.
out.
We got
But you know what I'm saying? Think about, always consider something that'll put you in a happy place. You know what I'm saying? Like, a peace of mind is always good. Now,
Now, I'm just going to give you the suicide hotline one more again so that way you know who to call if you don't want to talk to somebody you know. And that's 1-800-273-8255. No, you don't have to necessarily to be suicidal doesn't necessarily mean you want to kill yourself, to have suicidal thoughts. But doesn't necessarily mean you want to act on it. But if you are feeling that deep in a dark place and you feel like there's nobody you can talk to, 1-800-273-8255.
a lot of different things. Play some music, buy people gifts, create some art, minimize your house, read a book, go for a walk. You know, do some different things. And I'm saying this even if you don't feel depressed. Like, don't even worry about, like, if you in a good mood, you know, start creating some habits of like going out and doing things. Change your routine up. Now, when I say going out, I understand we're under some COVID stuff, but you can walk up and down your block. You can walk to the park.
One more
keep your
thing.
distance at the strip club.
Drive through strip clubs.
Do not
Go to the drive through.
No, let him talk. We gotta be done.
Okay.
Two Broke Calls is on next.
if you are, if you know someone that is in a depressed state of mind, do not, and I repeat, do not get the cops involved, because that is more dangerous for them than anything else.
All right.
Okay. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say Two Broke Calls is up next.
And just like that, man, this is Voice One. Thank you for tuning in. Check all our shit out at One Voice Radio, Kansas City. That's on YouTube. Be sure to like us, be contagious, share that shit. OVRstation.com. Thank you for tuning in. This is Voice One.